Hello people of YouTube and welcome back. So for today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a ribbed effect using crochet. So you can use this ribbed effect to make rims for hats, or you can use this ribbed effect to make cuffs for jumpers, or you could do the ribbed effect and just make a nice headband, nice winter headband. Or in this case I've used cotton yarn and I've made the body part for a bra top. So this is the bit that goes around the body and I've just attached the two cups to it. It's a really nice effect. It looks good on a lot of things and it's super easy. So for this particular style of crochet project, you'll need to know how to chain, you'll need to know how to single or double crochet, and that's about it. So let's begin. So for this I am going to be using, once again, just so you can see what I'm doing, my super thick yarn and my absolutely massive crochet hook. So to begin with, we want to make the width. So you want to make the width of the project first, and then we work along the length. So you want to measure how wide you want your project to be. So maybe you measure your forehead, or maybe you measure your cuff here, and find out how wide you want that to be. So just for the sake of showing you guys how to do this, I'm going to do a width of 6 stitches. And I'm going to be working it in double crochets just because I think it looks better. You can work in single crochets if you want it to look a little bit smaller. So for a stitch of 6, I am going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to add my first double crochet, but we have to chain that first, so I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to start my first double crochet in the third. 1, 2, 3, in the fourth from the hook. So this is the easy part. You just want to make a row of double crochets in your chain to begin with, and that's no different to how you'd usually crochet on a normal day. It's only when we get to the second row does it get a little bit different, and that's when you're going to start to see your ribbed effect happening. So hopefully I can show you how to do this and make it look like the easiest thing in the world, because it is. Nice, so I'm working into the last stitch now. Good. So once you've got your width sorted, just go ahead and double check you've got the right amount of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you work along, you want to make sure that each row has the same amount of stitches, so that you don't go ahead and get confused and then you get narrowing work or work that gets wider. So you're going to go ahead and work your first faux double crochet, so that's a chain 3 in this case. Turn your work. So this is where it changes. So if you look at the top here, the top of your stitches, the top of your stitches kind of look like a little V shape, and you've got the side that's closest to you and the side that's furthest away from you. So usually what you'd do is you'd go through both of those and that's how you'd do your crochet. But to do a ribbed effect, what we're going to do today is we're going to work into the back side of that V. So skip your first one because that's at the base of your double crochet, so we don't want to do the first one, we're going to go into the second one. That's pretty standard procedure. So we're going to go ahead and do a double crochet, but we're going to do it in that back stitch there. So not through them both, not through the front, but through the back portion of the V. And then you continue your double crochet as you normally would. So another time, let's try it on the next stitch. So we find our V, and then we go into this back portion of the V with a double crochet. So if you do need to pause the video and you want to try that real quick, you can give it a go. I'm going to show you one more time. So again, find your V shape, go into the part of the V that's furthest away from you. That's called the back stitch. Double crochet into there. And already you're starting to see this effect whereby the front row looks slightly more forward than the first row, the first row looks slightly more forward than the second row. It's just an optical illusion, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to the end. So just double check you've got the right amount. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it might look like you're at the end, but as you can see, I've counted 5 and I know I've got 6. So always make sure that you do go to the very end, which will be this first chain that you did. So you can either, when you get to the chain, you could just go through the chain and do your double crochet that way, or you can find the chain at the top and go through the back side of the chain. It's a little trickier to find, I guess, if you've got smaller yarn. Good. So once you've got all the way to the end, maybe you've paused the video and you've come back because you've given it a go. And once you've got to the end, you make sure you've got the same amount of stitches. You're going to chain 3. Oh, I love this song. You're going to flip your work and you're going to work back the same way you just did. So as always, we skip the first one and we're going to go into the second one. So again, we're working into the back stitch. So you've got the V and you work into the stitch of that V that is furthest from you. So we double crochet all the way along, going into the back portion of the V. So I've only got 6, so it shouldn't take long. So we want to do the last one, find the top of our chain, work into the chain, double check we've got the same amount of stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes we have. And you're starting to get this, it's a bit difficult to see with this wool, I must admit, but you're starting to get the rows looking a little staggered. So you've got this bit in the middle looks raised and the bits behind look slightly lower. And if you turn it around, you get the opposite effect where these 2 on either side look higher and the one in the middle looks lower. And you're already starting to get a ribbed effect, and it really is that easy. It's that simple. You just stitch into the back stitch of each row and you work along until you have got the entire length of your cuff or your rim or your band. I do think this would make, if in this thick yarn in particular, if you used to make a band that went entirely around your head, I think that it would make like a great ski headband, like if you were going skiing, or yeah, just a winter headband. I think it would look really cute. I'm going to try and just finish this row so I can see if it looks a little more textured with an extra row. Good, yeah, you can start to see the effect here. So you've got 4 rows and they look sort of zigzag, they're looking ribbed now, right? Hopefully you can see that on the camera. And that is how you do a ribbed effect. It's really that easy. So if you was doing a band or a cuff or a rim of a hat, you'd make it so long. You'd fold it round and you just slip stitch the 2 ends together to make a continuous loop. And that is how you make a ribbed effect using crochet. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up. Please leave a comment in the comments below. Subscribe. And also I'll leave some links below to my Instagram and to my Etsy if you want to check out my other wacky stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.